F1 returns to Silverstone for the 2023 British Grand Prix this weekend in a season that's proven to be a bit of a surprise. Heading into the season, no one would have expected Red Bull to dominate the way they have. The team has won every race this season. The lack of competition at the front of the grid has forced rivals into submission, just appreciating the level that they're performing at. In all of this, we head to Silverstone this weekend, a track that's produced some breathtaking race over the last couple of years. Who can forget Max and Lewis in 2021, or the stunning late race battle between Leclerc, Hamilton and Paris last year? Could we have similar on the cars this year? Could someone break Red Bull's win streak? Who knows? But yeah, several key upgrades coming in, key storylines coming into this one. And yeah, upgrades. Mercedes suffered a lot in Austria and partly blamed the track layout for their poor performance. Ferrari, on the other hand, had a strong weekend, and the track layout and demands of Silverstone are much different, and we could see that tilt. So add to this, however, the Silverstone team is looking to where Mercedes is claiming to bring its next big upgrades. It's the upgrades that we'll see whether they can make another big step, or maybe they will stand still. Similarly, Ferrari are bringing a few upgrades to this race, and we're hoping the car sustains and surpasses the level that it showed in Austria. Lando Norris also surprised everyone in Austria, where he secured a P4 finish in the race by showing consistent race pace. The upturn in speed was attributed to both driver and upgrades. The massive jump in performance shown by McLaren on the track also had some fans raising their eyebrows, and it'll be a race to see where McLaren can kind of confirm this performance, or maybe it will just go back to where we saw it previously. The last two British Grand Prix have seen Max Verstappen being booed. While the 2021 season could be rationalised, the fact that it happened in 2022 raised questions. What began in Silverstone against Max carried on in Austria against Lewis and resulted in a lot of controversies. The season we've not seen anything in Austria, and the organisers be hoping that the same remains respectful as well in Silverstone. And yeah, fingers crossed it does, because we don't want to see booing in F1. But anyway, who's heading into this weekend on form? That'll be Lando Norris. After that P4 in Austria, the team gave him a lot of confidence with that car. And although there's trepidation over the upgrade for Norris dominating his teammate, and he'll be hoping to carry that form onwards. But George Russell has been forced to answer quite a few questions about his form recently, and most of them come in comparison to his teammate. Ever since the race in Monaco, when Mercedes introduced upgrades, he's struggled to keep up. Not only that, his qualifying struggled as well, and he'll be hoping to bounce back at Silverstone. But yeah, for the winner, it's hard to look beyond Verstappen. Of course, it is. The Red Bull driver biggest strength is his ability not to make a mistake. Mind you, there has been far too many scenarios where he could have in the last few races, but didn't. The track at Silverstone has not been the most friendly for Max. He's faced boos from the crowd in the last two seasons. This time around, Lewis and Mercedes are off the pace. The Dutchman will be hoping to pick up his sixth consecutive win and secure Red Bull's first in Silverstone since 2012. The performance put together by Mercedes Barcelona could be a good indicator, though, of how they could fare at the British Grand Prix. The fast speed corners where Mercedes appears to excel. To add to this, the team is bringing what could be a second of a major upgrade to the track. With the way Mercedes seemingly operates, suspect the German unit to make another dent in Red Bull's advantage and have a competitive weekend this weekend. And George Russell's also had a few lacklustre weekends heading into the British Grand Prix, where he's been outperformed by his teammate, and that's raised questions about him. But all in all, Russell will get hands on upgrades this weekend, and yeah, he could well be back in podium contention. McLaren's surge in Austria surprised many, and they'll be keeping a close eye on how the car performs at the British Grand Prix. Unfortunately, a lot of gains were made in Austria appeared to be a function of track-specific characteristics and poor performance from others, and yeah, it would be seem likely for McLaren to take a backward step, but the British Grand Prix will be an opportunity for Sergio Perez to show that he can still produce the goods. The Mexican has not had the best of runs, and the last few races, that qualifying being a concern as well. With teams like Mercedes and Aston Martin expected to challenge in qualifying, we could see two teams pushing Perez further down the order as well. His Achilles here has always been qualifying form, and that could well be the case again coming into Silverstone. And coming into the British Grand Prix, there's been a few stories. Kind of a lot around Brad Pitt and his new F1 movie filming at Silverstone this weekend. They've got all the garage set up, and it's all very cool. And yeah, obviously upgrades as well coming into the track and stuff like that. Mercedes with a new front wing, McLaren bringing the last part of the upgrade. Piastri gets it this weekend as well. So yeah, lots going on in the paddock. Lewis Hamilton, it's home racing. He wants to stay in F1 for 5 more years. I don't think many would be against that. So yeah, that's good news. But moving on to the on-track action, and in practice one, it was guess who, Max Verstappen, who topped the timing sheets. A whole 4 tenths ahead of Sergio Perez. Alex Albon in third. But yeah, like with most F1 ones, couldn't really too much. For example, Mercedes didn't run soft standard 12 14s. Everyone else did though. And yeah, kind of gave us a rough competitive order. But I think obviously, with the likes of Albon in third, you probably couldn't read too much into it, but they do kind of continue their consistent pace throughout, because in FP3 he also did come third, Alex Albon and Verstappen in first, and then Sainz second. You also had likes Logan Sargent in fifth, so really impressive for Zafranam. It was a bit more concerning session for Mercedes in 12th and 15th, but they were a lot more competitive in race runs, so maybe they're running some extra fuel and whatnot, but it'll be interesting to see who kind of comes to the fore this week, and it still feels like very close behind Red Bull, for sure, but Red Bull do seem to have an advantage on the rest of the pack. And on the final practice session on Friday, it was Charles Leclerc who topped the time sheets, Albon in second this time, but session here which I would say you probably couldn't read too much into, because you had like the Verstappen down in 8th, didn't really get a soft tyre running and all of that, but Mercedes was a bit of an improved showing with Hamilton in 5th, but I don't know, it's still very jumbled up order, and coming into qualifying I think Red Bull at the top more than likely, but except for that, still need a few more clues about who's going to shape up where at the British Grand Prix. But overall, my predictions for this weekend, I'm going to say Verstappen will be on pole and take the win. I don't think that's really needs to predict anymore, just with how dominant they are at the moment. I can't really see it being anything else. I'm going to say Lewis Hamilton, though, will actually really impress and beat Sergio Perez on pure pace. It's Silverstone, he loves Silverstone, and I don't know, I think Mercedes car will really suit this circuit as well. So I'm going to say Hamilton will come second and put on a masterclass at Silverstone, with Perez coming home in third and hopefully ending his bad qualifying form. But anyway guys, that's it really. Thanks very much. Like, share, subscribe, let me know your thoughts and comments down below, and follow my other pages on screen right now. It'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.